So my wife and I have this pretty consistent conversation about whether or not we should shut our chooks in the evenings overnight time. I say, well, if we shut them in, then we have to let them out in the morning. My wife's argument is if you shut that door, it helps to keep out rats and other things that might try to access the chooks during the night. So I defer to her judgment. She's a very loving, caring person for our animals. She has that motherly instinct. So I agree to do that. So I do it every night. So about 8 p.m. last night, I decided to come out and close the door on the chickens. So when I got to about here, I had the torch, the flashlight in my hand, and I got to out here and I looked over here, and on this roosting stick, stretching from about here, it's had its tail wrapped around there, up to about here, was a beautiful coastal carpet python. At least I'm pretty sure that was the species of carpet python. When we were kids, we used to call them carpet snakes, but they're very commonly called carpet pythons now. It was here, and one of our chickens was right here, and it was eyeing it off. Now it was nighttime, so I'm sure the chickens didn't even know it was there. They don't see well at night. But any length of time, that chicken would have been wrapped around with the carpet python, and it all would have been over. So I'm not a snake handler. I don't know very much about how to control snakes, and so I'm thinking to myself, what do I do? So I thought to myself, well, I should run back and see my wife, and we'll make a plan together on how to get rid of this snake. The next thing I thought was, well, if I do that, the snake may well have already taken the chicken by the time I get back. So I looked at it and I remembered my Steve Irwin videos, and I remember across my lifetime different situations where you talk about how to handle a carpet python. And the key is that the most significant danger is that they bite you, and while they're not venomous, their mouth has lots of yucky stuff in it. They bite you, they break the skin, you'll get an infection. So you go down and you grab them just at the base of their head, and so I figured, well, if I can get that far, I'll be fine. So I came in here, and actually, for an old bloke, I moved pretty quickly. I grabbed it around the base of its neck, and about here, pulled it up, and I was pretty happy with the grip that I had, but it immediately wrapped itself around the roosting log, and so I had the torch in one hand, the snake's head in the other, and then I'm trying to unwrap the snake from this position. It didn't actually take that long, couple of minutes, well, less than about 10 or 20 seconds. So I brought it out, and I'm standing here, and I think to myself, okay, so what do I do now with this snake? And it's starting to wrap around my arm. And so if you look over here, we've got a tree line over here. I thought I'll just take it over here, and I'll put it in amongst the trees here. And I got to about here, and I started looking for a decent branch. What I wanted was a branch that I could get it to wrap its tail around, and then I could bit by bit unwrap my hand from its twists and turns, and eventually just let it go, and it would take a hold of the branch. But you'll see in this area, it's mainly we have mainly these beautiful old palm trees. We've got a few in here that would have worked now that I look at it, but it was dark. I'm trying to hold the torch in one hand, the snake in the other, and by the time I get to this place, I recognise it's actually started to wrap pretty tightly around my arm. I can't see where its tail is. And then the next thought that occurs to me, actually, I'm not that far from the chook pen, which is just over my shoulder there. And so I thought, well, mate, if I do leave it here, there's every chance it's going to straight back to the chickens. So then I think, okay, well, I've got the snake under control. I'm going to have to go and get some help. So I come around here. So this is the front door of our house. We don't often use the front door. We got a back entrance and a side entrance, which we use a whole lot more. But this was the first door that I could get to easily. And I came here and I started tapping on the window with the torch. Remember, I still got the snake in one hand, torch in the other. I'm tapping on the window here to get my wife's attention. By that stage, I'm calling out fairly loudly to her. And she's inside, but because we don't use the front door very often, she could hear me tapping, but she wasn't sure which window I was tapping on. So she was running around inside, realised that something was happening. She ultimately very quickly realised where it was coming from. She came to the front door, opened the door. As she's coming over, she saw that I had something in my hand, and because I was headed towards the chook pen to lock them in, she thought I had a dead chook in my hand because of the noise I was making. So she came out. Then she saw the snake, and to her credit, she didn't panic at all. She just wanted to know what I was going to do. I said to her, "Well, I'm going to break here and let you see. We got this next bit on the security cameras. So here's what happened." I need light because I've got it at the base of the snake. I don't know how many.
Oh, what kind of snake is it?
It's a carpet.
Oh.
I need light to be off. So I was about here when the security cameras are no longer able to pick us up, and I've got the snake in my hand. You can see from the video that Emmy is right behind me with the torch, and I'm saying to her, I need the light to be able to find where its tail is, so I can get it off my arm, but. Also, I want to find a decent tree branch, so I come over here. We've got a beautiful line of gum trees along here, and we're probably now a good 150, 200 meters from the chicken coop. So I figure at least for the night they're going to be fine. So I get to about here, and I'm rummaging through here. I'm saying, I'm looking for a branch. I'm looking for a branch. Give me the light. Give me the light. I want her to shine the light up on these trees so I can get the branch worked out. And once I've got the branch worked out, then I can work out how to get the carpet snake off my arm. Did I mention I'm not a snake handler? That was pretty apparent by this stage. So she says, "What do you need?" I said, "I'm looking for a branch." Well. After I mentioned that a few times, she's behind me, and I turn around to try and explain to her a little more fully what it is I'm looking for. And I turn around and here we are. She's holding this branch in her hand, and she says, "Well, this is all I can find." And I'm not even sure if that's the branch, but anyway, it was something in that realm. Just a stick with a few leaves on it, and I wasn't laughing at the time, but now when I think about it, it was actually pretty hysterical. But in turning around to her, and with the little bit of light now I was able to see that over here was the exact kind of branch that I was looking for. I got here, I put the snake's head up on here. I was then, because I had a hand free, obviously, because she's got the torch, I was then able to notice that its tail was coiled underneath its body. So its body is wrapped around and around and around my arm, and its tail is under, but it's also under and through the body. So it's actually tied in a knot on my arm. And by this stage, it's squeezing on my hand pretty tightly to try and let me know that it would rather kill my arm than have me continue with this process. So I was able to then pull the tail through, unwrap it a little bit. I got the tail wrapped around here, and by that stage it started to uncoil and get onto the branch, and the drama was all over. But it was all pretty amusing, and when it was over, the one outstanding thought in my mind was, I wouldn't be dead for quids.